If you're selling on Amazon, you know just how much every single word counts. So today, we're going to dive into one of the most important parts of your product listing, the bullet points. We're going to take Amazon's rules and turn them from this confusing mess into your own personal winning playbook. So let me start with the question for you. I want you to really think about your own listings right now. Are your bullet points actually helping you make sales? Or could they be quietly costing you customers day in and day out? It's a huge question because the stakes, they're incredibly high. You know, the difference between a bad bullet point and a great one isn't just about looks. It's the difference between being totally buried on page 10 and showing up right in front of your customer. It's about turning people who are just browsing into actual buyers and turning those lost chances into real, hard sales. The impact is direct, and you can absolutely measure it. So what's their job anyway? Well, at their core, bullet points are basically your product's elevator pitch. They're those quick, easy-to-scan facts that a shopper uses to instantly decide if your product is what they need. Honestly, this is where the buying decision really kicks off. Okay, let's get into the strategy. We're going to build the perfect bullet point from the ground up. We're laying a foundation that not only follows all of Amazon's rules, but also really connects with your customers. So the most powerful trick in the book is actually a super simple formula. Header, a colon, and then the description. That's it. This structure gives you instant clarity, and it's the real secret to organized, easy-to-read bullet points that, by the way, Amazon absolutely loves. And here's what that looks like in action. See? Stainless steel body, that's your clear header. Then you've got the colon, and finally the description that explains the benefit of that feature. Strong and durable material suitable for daily cooking. See how clean and informative that is? It's perfect. Now, this brings up a really crucial mindset shift. Your bullet points are not the place to tell your brand's life story. Honestly, customers don't care that you've been trusted for years. What they care about is what's in it for them. A heat-resistant handle solves a problem. It gives them a safe and comfortable grip. You've got to always focus on the customer benefit. Okay, so with that foundation in place, let's move on to the style and the precision. These are the little details that really separate a professional, high-converting listing from one that just looks amateur. First up, a very simple but totally non-negotiable rule. Always start every single bullet point with a capital letter. It's such a small thing, but it immediately signals professionalism and makes everything so much easier to read. Next up is what I like to call the Goldilocks rule of length. You got to stay within that sweet spot of 10 to 255 characters. This forces you to be concise enough for someone to just scan it quickly, but also detailed enough to actually provide some real value. And here's exactly why that minimum length is so important. The word durable all by itself, it's just a vague claim. But when you expand it to durable construction ensures long-lasting everyday use, you're turning that feature into a real, tangible benefit for the customer. You're answering their silent question, which is, durable, how? Okay, here's a rule that trips up a lot of sellers. Your bullet points have to be written as sentence fragments. What does that mean? It means no periods, no full stops at the end. If you need to connect two related ideas inside one bullet, just use a semicolon. It keeps the whole thing flowing nicely. Amazon's also a little picky about numbers. The rule is simple, though. Write out the words for numbers 1 through 9. You only use digits for things like measurements, model numbers, or sizes. So it should be 3 containers, not 3 containers. And speaking of measurements, here's another one of those tiny details that makes a huge difference in formatting. Always, and I mean always, leave a single space between the number and the unit of measurement. So it's 60 space ml, not 60 ml. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the really critical stuff you have to avoid. Think of these next few points as, well, game-ending fouls. These are the common mistakes that can get your listings suppressed or even penalized by Amazon. You don't want that. First things first, stay away from special characters. Amazon prohibits symbols like the trademark symbol, copyright, or any currency signs in your bullet points. Just stick to standard text. And along those same lines, no emojis. I know, they're everywhere on social media, but they just look unprofessional on an Amazon listing, and they are strictly against the rules. So instead of a checkmark emoji, just say what the benefit is. Prevent spills. This one is a biggie. Never, ever include any kind of guarantee, warranty, or refund information in your bullet points.
Amazon handles all of that stuff through its own platform. If you mention it here, it's a major policy violation.
And here is the cardinal sin on the platform. Never, ever try to direct customers away from Amazon. That means no website links, no email addresses, no contact info, nothing. All communication, all information has to stay right there within the listing. And finally, let's talk about claims. You have to avoid all that subjective, unverified marketing fluff like best quality or eco-friendly, unless you can actually prove it. Instead, you want to stick to factual, verifiable statements that build trust. Food-grade stainless steel, that's a fact. Best quality, that's just an opinion. And believe me, facts sell. So, wow, we have covered a lot of ground. Let's bring it all together into a final pre-launch checklist. 4 simple principles to guide you as you write or even just revise your bullet points.
Okay, number 1, always prioritize clarity over clever marketing buzz. Number 2, give each bullet point its own unique job. Focus on one feature and its benefit. Number 3, put yourself in your customer's shoes and write to answer the questions you know they're asking. And finally, number 4, stay factual and compliant to build trust and, of course, keep your listings safe.
And that's the playbook. You now have the rules and the strategies to create bullet points that don't just follow Amazon's guidelines, but actually work hard to convert customers. So the final question is, what story about your product's value will your bullet points tell?